let's get this party started. I always know it's time to start because my watch starts talking to me and saying, do you really want to start right now? Because you turned me on, but you didn't turn me on for real. All right, we are turned on. All devices are on and ready to go. So you all have been here for so long now that you know the drill. You have your full water bottle, your towel, and your fan. And let's see, my temperature in my room is 68 degrees. This room is always kind of cool. So that's kind of good. Still looking light outside. So we're gaining a little bit of light every single day, which is a good thing. So until we get to that first day of summer or whatever it is, when it starts going in reverse. But yeah, we're still gaining some light, which is good. So I hope all of you had a chance over the weekend to maybe get out on Saturday. Of course, Sunday was a wash, except for those of you that were racing. Saturday was just magnificent. It was a little cool starting out, but then by like noon, it was just perfect. So that was one of those days that I was talking about a couple of sessions previously about picking the right clothing. If you put on, in fact, one of the guys I was riding with said to me, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have worn this long sleeve jersey. So there was a perfect example of it. Pick the right stuff. Arm warmers are so good at this time of the year because you can pull them up and push them down, which is really great. So you have lots of options. So I got a chance to ride with some of the people on the screen and a couple of other people, a few that I didn't know, a few that I did know. And it's always so fun for me, especially coming out of a winter and out of all this, seeing the people who've done the sessions and noticing how much they're spinning their legs and others in the group are not. So there's truly a difference in you guys when you do these sessions. You start to learn how to pedal in a completely different way than people that don't have that kind of training underneath their belt. So kudos to everybody for paying attention and making it noticeable that you're making changes in the way you ride. It's really cool. I remember working with a group of women building up for one of the fondos in the past. We all started together, and I put myself in the back of the group, and there were probably about 10 of us, and they started riding away, and they were all just spinning their legs like crazy, and the rest of the group around us were like mashing away. It was just, it made me smile. So keep that up, because that will make your rides more efficient, conserve your energy a little bit, and also keep you strong throughout the ride. Speaking of strong, that's what today is going to be about. We're going to do, our main set is going to be 4 5-minute efforts. And I think the highest cadence you get to in those 5-minute efforts, at one point you do get to 100, but we're talking some low cadence and some good, strong climbing efforts. So I hope you brought those strong legs today. We'll get our normal warm-up in. And once we get through the warm-up, we'll do a little effort to get us even more warmed up before we get to those 4 climbing sets. So right now, as you all know, be in a nice easy gear. You should be in your small ring. You're going to use your big ring enough. You don't need to go there yet. So get ready. All right, so let's get to your small ring and a 15 in the back. So you should be shifting down and seeing those 3 gears underneath your chain. You look back, sometimes it looks deceiving. We're going to do 30 seconds of hard, 1 minute easy. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Pick up the cadence. Go as hard as you can. Hold the cadence that works for you here. I'm at about 85. That's what feels my legs starting to burn. Just get those legs warmed up. 3, 2, 1. Back up to an easy gear. Get them spinning. Holding at about 90. So I have a workout that I give to some of my athletes where they have to go out for an hour and they have to hold a 90 cadence for that hour. Whatever they got to do, doesn't matter how fast or slow, just hold that 90 cadence. So a guy I've been working with for a long time, he did that workout over the weekend, or yesterday he did actually. And he said, oh my God, that was like the hardest workout ever. So just working on cadence can make it hard sometimes. Back to that 15. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Kick it up. Feel yourself being connected to the bike for this. So you can almost feel like you're sitting on that saddle, nice and solid. 3, 2, back up to that easy gear. Spinning it out. So one thing to start thinking about when you get outside again, I know I went over a few of these, but one thing that a lot of us lose when we haven't been outside in a while is just the ability to hold a firm, straight line. So, you know, most roads have a white line along the edge. Use that line as your guide. Set yourself up right next to it and try to stay as close to it as possible. Getting back down to your 15. 3, 2, let's go. "30 seconds. You might notice in these as you do them, your cadence starts to increase as your legs get warmed up. 3, 2, nice and easy. So back to using that line. It's a good way to keep yourself in check. And it's also a good way, if you're riding in a group, to show them that you're a good wheel. Nobody wants to be on a wheel that's like all over the place because you can't trust that wheel. And of course, hopefully you know that overlapping a wheel, meaning putting your front wheel across so that your wheel is in front or next to the person in front of you. Not a good idea. Unless it's a crosswind and you're used to that person. Last time, right back down. 3, 2, let's go. Find your core here on this last 30 seconds. I went from starting with my cadence at 85 to now my cadence being at 95. 3, 2, 1. Nice easy gear. Take a drink. Towel off. All right. We're going to do one more kind of set you up set. We want the legs to be warmed up. So to do that, we want to make sure your legs are ready for these harder efforts with the lower cadence. So we're going to do two-minute efforts where we're doing 10 seconds hard, 10 seconds easy. I'm going to give you a gear, and I'd like for you to try to, if you need to change that gear, that's fine. But I'd like you to get to at least 90 to 100 in that 10 seconds. So it's going to be a little work on the cadence part, because that's going to start to get those legs warmed up even more. We'll take a minute in between, and then we'll do another 2-minute effort. And then we'll get to our main set, which is like 25 minutes long. And that main set will really be like climbing 4 or 5 minute climbs. And it's going to change along those climbs. And that's good, because that's typically the way it is. Most climbs don't just stay the same the whole way. It was incredible to watch. I was watching a race last week. Guy was going up something that was 7%. And he was in his big ring, 15. 7% grade, uphill, in his big ring. It was incredible. All right. So you're going to get to your small ring 15 again. Like I said, if you feel like you need one easier gear, if the legs are feeling a little rough, you're welcome to go up to your 16 or 17. But if you want to challenge yourself, you can go even to your 14 as long as you can get to those cadences. All right, it's 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Here we go. Give me a cadence, 90 to 100. 3, 2, 1. Just bring it up. Hold it there. When you get to the cadence, 3, 2, nice and easy. Bring it down. You can bring that cadence down to 70, 80. And up. Just back and forth. Really working on the leg speed. And down. These 2 minutes will go fast. And up. Not meaning up, but meaning get the cadence up. 3, 2. Nice and easy. Coming to a minute down. And let's go. I'm hitting 100. And easy. Holding that same gear. And let's go. 10 seconds hard. 3, 2, nice and easy. One more hard. 3, 2, let's go. Stay in that gear. Nice and easy. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2. Nice, easy gear. 1 minute easy. Then we're going to do that again. So remember the gearing that you were in. You want to go back to that same gear. Unless you feel like the legs are really starting to come around, then you can give yourself one harder gear. Again, getting a drink whenever you have a chance. Because our houses are a little warmer now, you might be sweating more than you did previously. So having that fan on you is so important. In fact, I just reminded myself I need to give my nephew one of our fans because he doesn't have one for his apartment. All right, let's get back to that gear. Small ring. 15. Here we go again. 10 seconds. Hard. 10 seconds easy. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 90 to 100. Bring it up and hold it there. 3, 2. Nice and easy. Really think about that core. 3, 2. Let's go. Tonight's about that midsection. And easy. Finding the strength in your core to help you through this. 3, 2, let's go. And easy. Coming up to 1 minute. 3, 2, let's go. Don't let the cadence drop. And easy. Consistency. You know, that's one of my favorite words. 3, 2, let's go. And easy. We got one more to do. 3, 2, let's go. And easy. Stay in this gear. Don't shift yet. 3, 2. All right, shifted to easy. Okay. Now you're snapping on the climbing legs. Time to see what you got. So each one of these 5-minute efforts is going to be slightly different from the previous one. The first one, we're going to do some sitting, standing. But the key to this one is the last minute, you want to build it, go all out. I'm going to give you gear selections because I want you to use the gears to act as if it's a change in the road. So no changing of these gears. If you can't get the cadence to where I'm suggesting, then get it to whatever you can hold for that gear. So this is a little bit of, we can't physically simulate hills other than changing our gears. If you have a Takt or a Smart machine, It's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys know, but some of those smart machines, if you do cobbles, it'll actually feel like you're on cobbles. So your bike will actually feel like what it feels like when you're on cobblestones. It's kind of cool in a way. But for what we do, a dumb trainer works pretty smart, in my opinion. Don't need much. Just need for some resistance to be consistent. All right, so here's the first one. We're going to start off with big ring, 23. So remember, 28, 25, 23. If you have a 25 at the top, you're only shifting once. All I want you to do is give me a minute at whatever cadence you can hold in that gear. This is kind of just the walk up, the lead up. We're just approaching the climb. We're not quite there yet. So you want to keep it consistent. Don't go too all out yet. Maybe about the top of your zone 3. Just feeling the gear. Because after this, we're going to stand for 30 seconds. But you're going to make a major shift when that happens to help you with the fact that you're standing. 10 seconds till we get there. Shifting down to your 14. 3, 2, standing up. 30 seconds here. Remember, hips are over the ankles. Upper body's nice and tall. You got to look at the ceiling to make it happen. Nice and even. Sitting down. Shifting to one easier gear. Holding whatever cadence you can. So you should be in your 15. 1 minute. Grinding this out. But what I really want you to work on, don't push your feet into the pedals. That's where people start to move their bodies. Then I know they're pushing. Find yourself in that upward part. Get your feet light. When your feet are light, you can climb a little bit more efficiently. Next, we're going to stand in this gear for 30 seconds. 2, 1, standing. We're coming up on 3 minutes. 5 minutes total. Welcome, Donna. Glad you made it. Three, 2, sitting down, shifting to your 12, all the way to the bottom of the cassette. Grinding this out. Now standing for 15. Ooh, it's getting harder. Shifting up to your 17. Gonna get the cadence a little faster. Sitting back down. 15 more seconds here. Then the last minute, we're gonna go back to that 23, and you're gonna spin it for a minute. Woo! I like how that rhymed. Find that gear. Let's go. 23. See if you can get 100 plus. Holding it for the full minute. Seated the whole way. $30 to go. Come on, don't let the cadence drop. $15. 10. 5. 3. 2. 1. Shift down a few harder, then to your small ring, then back up to an easy gear. Woo! 2 minutes easy. Turn your fan up. Take a drink. That was good. This workout, if I didn't mention it, is a 2-pager. Lots to write down to make it an effective uphill grind. I actually stole that from Chris Carmichael. I hope he doesn't have it copyrighted. So those of you that don't know Chris Carmichael, or no, it's not Chris Carmichael, it's Troy Jacobson. Troy Jacobson is a guy that, before all of the Swift stuff happened, he used to have videos of trainer sessions that looked just like what we do. It would be a room full of people riding a bike, and he would tell them what to do through the workout. So he had a workout called the uphill grind, and I think I stole that from him. So unless he's listening to my video, I don't think he'll know that I'm calling this workout that. If he does, I guess I'll have a notification that says, you can't use that title. It's copyrighted. All right, next one is going to be really easy to work through. It's 1 minute for each one of the efforts. We're going to walk down the cassette a little bit. And then at the end, just like the previous one, we're going to go for it in the last minute. So you're going to start. Find your big ring. Back to that 23. Make sure here, I want you holding 90 to 100 cadence. Let's go. Make it happen. This isn't too hard of a gear. You guys have gained a ton of strength over the last 70 workouts now. Hard to believe. If you did every workout, there were 70 of them. So Yana, I think you might have 69. And Lillian, I think you might have pretty many. A lot of you guys. Maria, you're here consistently. Everybody is. So keep that cadence. When I count it down, you're going to shift one harder gear, and you're going to move that cadence to 85, 90. 3, 2, 1. 85, 90. This is perfect. Not too hard at 90 now. It's pretty easy for you to hold 90. Think where you were back a year ago. Your leg speed was different. With each shift we do, of course, the cadence gets a little slower. And being in the big ring creates a little bit of resistance. These are all seated efforts. 3, 2, 1 more shift. Now you're at 80 to 85. If you can't get to 80, 75 is okay. Do what you can. Work within what leg speed will work for you. Just no dogging it. Nobody dogs it here. Everybody's in it to win it. Man, I'm coming up with all kinds of sayings tonight. We're coming up to 3 minutes, so you know what's going to happen next. Another shift when I count it down. 3, 2, 1 harder gear. 70 to 80. If you can't hold 70, find 65. You might be feeling this. Right kind on the inside, those muscles on the inside of your leg. You might be feeling it there. Glutes, hamstrings, if you're pulling up properly. Feet are flat. Elbows are bent, hands are relaxed. Core, sitting up. The last minute, you're going to go back up to that 23. Give me a minute at a high cadence. Find that 23. Let's go. You should be seeing at least 95 to 100, if not more than 100. Really spin it. $30 seconds to go. Keep it going. Don't let that cadence drop. 10 to go. 3, 2, 1. A couple gears harder. Then shift to your small ring. Back up to that easy gear. Woo! That last minute, that's the kicker. All right. We are on to our third of 4 sets. So 2 minutes easy. Take a drink, towel off, let yourself cool down. So one of these races that I was watching over the weekend, it was so cool to see this one guy who was literally attacking the group. He had maybe a minute on the field. So he was going as hard as he could possibly go. And in the midst of that, he decided that he didn't want his glasses on any longer. So his cadence is about 100. And he's probably going 30 miles an hour. And what does he do? He takes both of his hands off the handlebars, pulls his glasses off, turns them upside down, puts them on his helmet, and puts his hands back on his bars. Without his leg speed changing at all. So if the mics were open and you could answer this question, what made it possible for him to do that? Right here, his core. Without him holding his core when he went to take his hands off the bars and using his core to be able to make all those movements, but keep his legs spinning, that's why that core is so important. All right, so here we go. Set number 3 of 4. This time, we're going to start off in the big ring, as we did before, all the way down to your 12, to the hardest gear you have, standing. 3, 2, let's go. 30 seconds standing. This one, we're going to stand and sit, but the gearing is not going to be very easy. This is how you get stronger, though. 3, 2, sitting down, shifting up. 1, easier gear. 30 seconds. Feel that pulling up motion. Get settled in. So you're in your 13. You're going to give me 2 easier gears. Get your cadence up to whatever you can hold for 1 minute. Everybody will have a different cadence here based on your gearing and your ability level. Stay focused. Find that core. Being part of this. If you're feeling the legs burning, that's what it feels like when you climb. Trying to get the body used to that. All right, shifting down to your 13. Not all the way to the bottom. 1 gear up. Find a cadence that'll work. 30 seconds seated. This is where the uphill grind comes in. Grind through this. Shifting down. 1 harder gear. Stand it up. Stay on top of those pedals. Keeping your hands light. Feel the weight. Sitting back down. Shifting up. 4 easier gears. Bringing the cadence up. 1 minute here. Get the light feet going. Start to notice if you feel yourself pushing one leg harder than the other. But if you're lightening your feet, it should be pretty even. The last minute, just like the previous, you're going to go all the way to the top of the cassette and spin it for a minute. Shift to that gear. 3, 2, let's go. Big ring, 23, 25, whatever you have at the top. Get that cadence to 100. Keep the shoulders down. Bend those elbows. That's all it takes. "30 seconds. Don't let it drop. Almost there. 10 to go. 3, 2, a few gears down harder before you shift to that small ring. Nice, easy gear. 2 minutes easy. Take a drink. Woo! Feeling the heat. All right, we've got one last 5-minute effort to go. I knew this workout would go pretty fast. So just like the last ones, the last minute is that all-out effort. In between, we're going to do some seated efforts, some standing efforts. We're going to keep mixing it up, since that's what happens when you're climbing. So if you struggle with climbing out of the saddle, start working on that in small doses. So shift to a couple of harder gears before you're ready to stand. Stand up and maybe do 6 pedal strokes and sit back down. Just remember that when you sit back down, shift back up to a little easier gear to help you get your leg speed back. But I don't want you shifting to too easy of a gear and you're like a mouse in a wheel and you're not going anywhere. You need a little bit of resistance under your feet to get you to climb a little bit faster. So if you have a compact crank and you've got a 32 in the back and the hill isn't really that steep, but you're in that gear, you're not making up any ground in the process. So you got to work a little bit harder sometimes just to get some progress. All right, so back to that big ring, back to that 23. 1 minute at whatever cadence you can hold here. Let's go. And I think for you guys, you should easily be somewhere between 90 and 100. Make this last 5 minutes the best 5 minutes. Gonna really work. This is really gonna make you feel some heavy legs later and maybe tomorrow, but it's well worth it. Almost coming to our minute. When I count it down, we're gonna go big ring 14, and we're gonna stand for 30. Find that 14. 3, 2, stand it up. Right there. Looking solid. 3, 2, sitting down. One harder gear. One easier gear. 1 minute. One easier gear. Check your cadence. Whatever you see right now, should see that same number at the end of this minute. Let it flow. You guys have gotten super strong legs. In 20 seconds, you're going to keep it in this gear, and we're going to stand. 3, 2, standing up. 30 seconds here. See if you can increase your leg speed a little. That'll get you lighter on your feet. Get you taller in your torso. Sitting down, all the way to your 12, all the way to the hardest gear. Grinding through this. Now standing up. Sit back down. Give me 4. Easier gears. 30 seconds here. Try to pick that cadence up. And you know the drill. For the last minute, shifting to the top of that cassette. Let's go. 1 minute. Hard and fast. To finish it off. Last minute. Let's go. 100 plus. Put all the metrics in place. $30 to go. Wow, you guys are so still. I love it. That means just the legs are benefiting. 10 to go. Last 5, let's go. All out, all out, all out. 3, 2. A little harder gear. Down to that small ring. Woo! Back up to the top. Nice and easy. Take a drink. Let's recover. Woo! So that was a little harder with those 1 minute kind of sprint efforts at the end. You can kind of settle into a nice move, a nice little groove during the other efforts in those lower cadences. But then to bust it out for that last minute, that's what makes it tough. All right, you're just going to hold it here. So Randy said to me, I was setting up the bike and everything, and I always put the camera on so I could see if it's angled properly. He came walking into the room. Then he's like looking at himself on the screen, and he said, I don't look like that, do I? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I just think it's weird when you see yourself on a camera. I feel like you look at yourself and it's not what you think you look like. So he said, ask them tonight if they feel that when they see themselves on the screen, if they look like they think they look. So you have to let me know if you look at yourself now that you've seen yourself on a screen billions of times. Do you feel like you look like you think you look? It's kind of a weird question. All right, so you got your easy gear. Start bringing your cadence down. I always tend to get to 90, and I have to remind myself to just slow it down. Bring your cadence down to like 80, 85. It feels weird to go there when you're so used to 90. You can let the heart rate start to come down. Get the sweating process to slow. Finish up that water bottle. And for tonight, this is one of those workouts that you really need to concentrate on your recovery source. Something that has some protein in it. You need to rebuild those muscles, get them back strong again, and get you ready for what's going to come your way tomorrow, potentially. It looks like we've got a little bit of rain coming our way again. We're not even in April yet. We got April showers. I did notice that probably by Friday, our daffodils will be out. So that'll be kind of nice. Have those little yellow flowers in our front yard. Perfect timing for the beginning of spring. And I think probably south of here, like Washington, D.C., the cherry blossoms are probably out. If you've ever been there or haven't ever had a chance to go see them, man, it is worth it. They are some amazing trees, and there are a lot of them. So maybe a trip to Washington, D.C., check out cherry blossoms. And if you haven't been to California to see the redwoods, that's another place to go. Those trees just blow your mind. They're so huge. We actually did a bike ride out there, and we got to ride through one of the redwood forests, and that was super cool. Being on a bike and riding through those giant sequoias was incredible. So everybody's starting to talk about traveling a little bit. So hopefully we can make that happen. All right, we're going to go another 30 seconds. And then we will be done for the night. This was a good one. I always like these kind of climbing type workouts. They help in so many ways. All right, I am going to stop mine. Watches. Get on off. And open up the phone lines. Whew. Great job, everybody. Great job.